Okay, now this is a little commentary on my second trip to Edmonton, September 2024. So I'll just talk over the video, and the video just has snippets of some of the more visually pleasing or interesting stuff on my trip. This right now you're watching, I'm just going down into the valley of the Blind Man River, just north of Red Deer. So, the trip itself. So, was it a success or was it a failure? I'd say a bit of both. Failure part first. So I have these business cards that have my website on and my email on, and I've probably given away more than 150 of them, and I've only ever had one person reply to my email. And so in that respect, I would say, this whole thing I've been doing, and this stretches back 30 years. Well, I can take it back to February 1993, actually. But so yeah, but oh, poor me. Anyways, the the success part of it, I guess. I did when I went to through Panoka, I stopped by their newspaper office, and like most other people, actually, they were thrilled to see this unit, and so I got interviewed, and literally within half a day they had something written and up on their website. So I'll put the link down below for that. So that was positive. um why hasn't it captured the public imagination though? I mean, partly, I guess, maybe the presentation, maybe the messenger, I mean me, maybe my oh, here we go, I'm morphing into a bit. This is where Highway 2A and Highway 2 amalgamate for 4 miles. I just thought I'd put this on here just to show how busy things can get and how crappy um, the shoulder can get in some spots here. This is, of the whole trip to Edmonton, this is probably one of my least favorite 4 mile chunks. Anyways, back to success or failure of this whole thing on Changing Maps book. Yeah, maybe the way I present the message is too confusing. You'll have to have a look at my website and see for yourself. Maybe people are just too busy. Like attention spans are not terribly wide, and other stuff on the go. Maybe also just cynicism. I mean, people may look at what I'm trying to do, and I guess in a nutshell, what I'm trying to do is um, get society away from the status quo of you know rough and ready politics, where it's kind of winner take all BS, and have more citizens assemblies and that sort of thing, which is sort of front and center in that book, Changing Maps, right? Um, Maybe also people are just cynical. Like, they look at stuff like citizens assemblies and think, oh yeah, that is a good idea. I really like it. But it ain't ever gonna happen. So why do I waste time? Getting back to this video, I just put this in because it's got a train whistle in it. So this is taken in between Macomb and Ponoka. Yeah. So anyways, the Ponoka News took the story, and I think they did a fairly good job with it. But then when I got to Edmonton, and this goes back to 1996, CBC Edmonton and CBC for those people who aren't north of the 49th here. That's Canada's national broadcaster. So back in 1996, which is a year after I discovered this book. Sorry. This is the video here just to show how crappy the some parts of the shoulder can get. This is just south of Ponoka. But anyways, and we're morphing again into another part of a video, and this is really crappy road. This is where Alberta Transportation has their rumble strips far too close to the edge of the pavement, and it even goes against their own stipulations. There's supposed to be 90 centimeters of space between the rumble strips and the edge of pavement, and here there's definitely not. I got out and measured it, but yeah, some places are crap. Where was I? Oh, Edmonton, 1996, CBC Edmonton. So yeah, I showed them this book, Changing Maps. It came out a year earlier, and it recommends drastic changes in the way government is done, and they essentially deliberative democracy, citizens' assemblies. They call it public judgment, but if you read the relevant parts in there, it's essentially the same. Oh, here we are in Leduc, the Leduc pathway system. Pretty good on the whole, or maybe not. This is the nicest part, but there's a lot of just sidewalks with sidewalk cracks, which are annoying to ride a velo on. But yeah, getting back to Edmonton, 1996 CBC. So the Changing Maps advocates radical changes in government, right? More of people giving power to people, actually, citizens' assemblies and whatnot, instead of what we have now. And one of the authors of Changing Maps at the time was in the Prime Minister's cabinet. And so I showed this to CBC at the time, and they just said, "Oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. Leave it with us." And so I called them back a week later. Oh, we just forgot all about it. And right, so they never did anything with it. So now, like in I guess it would have been last year, and I got this velomobile. Oh, here we go, morphing again. This is in Edmonton, the pathway system in Edmonton, which I've in a previous video I've mentioned that Edmonton has just an amazing pathway system. So thought I'd show you this. Anyways, yeah, CBC back in 1996 was definitely not interested in any significant changes in how government was being done, or maybe again, maybe it was just the messenger. Maybe I come across as some weird freak or something. I don't know, but last year I sent them a letter. I'll post a link to that letter, and I'll let you have a look, see what you think. So I let them know what I was doing. I purchased this Velo, and I hoping to cycle across Canada to raise awareness about the problems that cynicism on the part of the public, right? Politicians are not held in very high esteem, and how best to change that? Well, it's in that book, Changing Maps. And all the best quotes, or I've done 2 videos on it now. I'll put those links up. I'll put a link up of the pages I handed out with the quotes from the book when I was cycling to Ottawa back in the late 90s. I'll let you decide. So anyways, yeah, I didn't even get a reply from CBC this time. Unlike 1996, when you could at least talk to someone. But I mailed them this letter, registered mail, no reply. I mailed a second letter, no reply. Third letter, I dropped it off at their office, but there's no one behind the desk. Now it's just a counter with a plexiglass, or maybe it's bulletproof glass, who knows. And then there's a security guard, and so not able to talk to anyone again. And then so I've lost count now. I think it was the 5th time I've either tried to contact CBC or went to their office. But this, trying to figure out why they are uninterested in this. Is it? I'm going to go back to public goods, and it would take another video to go through public goods. So maybe I should do that. And I'm just coming up to the end now of this video, so I'll leave it there. Okay, I've tacked on the first part of this video again, just so I can talk a bit more about CBC and public goods, and trying to figure out why they seem uninterested in it's Canadian politics right now. There's a fellow in opposition, Pierre Poilievre. One of his stated intentions is to, emasculate the CBC or get rid of it entirely. So CBC is, I think, whistling past the graveyard a bit, but let's just talk about public goods for a minute. Public goods, by definition, are simply goods that private sector or capitalism cannot provide, and that might be anything from, filling in potholes in a road that's not a toll road, or national defense, certain aspects of the health system, or our education system. So, and that's how the CBC was originally envisioned, I think, back the better part of a century ago, as education, right? But now there's so much of their stuff which is obviously not a public good, because the private sector can easily duplicate it. And why can they easily duplicate it? Because it's simple, rote stuff, and people like it, and they can make a profit off of it. Private industry can make a profit off it. What are examples? Okay, First, I'll give an example, a really good example of a public good that CBC does provide, and that's their Ideas series. And it's very educational, and I love listening to it. I learn things. Um, Maybe most people would not like to listen to it, but um, education is a public good because the private sector cannot fully derive benefits from education. Um, it's I won't delve into that too much, but it's the same with health. Healthy people tend not to spread germs and stuff as much, right? So health, a healthy society is a public good, um, and so what does CBC do that is not a public good? And it's I can think of one that comes on all the time. I like when I'm watching CBC, and the commercial comes on, I immediately mute it, right? But there's this one commercial that comes on because they do a lot of fluff, right? Fluff shows, and there's this one with this cop, and real brawny cop, and then there's this hot woman in a tight dress behind bars, and I don't know what she's done, but they she's obviously had a criminal past, and I'm guessing that they get together and solve crimes, right? Um, I guess interesting stuff if that's what turns your crank. But the thing is, it's the private sector can produce this stuff just as easily, and so taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it, right? Stick to public goods like the Ideas series. That's it. Thanks.